Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play The Suffering. I'm your host TPC Gamer, and in our last episode, we sorta gained the trust of Ernesto Alvarez, one of the harder to please NPCs in the game, and we made our way to the last level, the last breath before dying. It's kind of a shame that this is the last stage, because, to be honest, as a level, it is wholly unremarkable.
Do you want to play, mister?
Yeah, that's just terrifying. Game. Seriously, what the hell? Although it's a little bit easier because, that I can tell, the Infernas in this particular stage are a little bit easier than the ones we found in the last stage. I suppose it makes sense.
I don't understand what we just saw there, but I don't ever want to see it again. Did you kill your children, or did this place somehow do it? Like it has taken mine. These are black times. It hurts too much to stop and think about it. We must keep going.
Don't think I've ever seen that flash before. Huh, weird. But no, I suppose I can see why the game is a bit simple at this point, because they just want to help you to conserve a bit of health and ammo for the final boss. And since I didn't talk about the burrowers yet, but talked about pretty much everything else, live burial, it's otherwise known as vivisepulture, was mostly practiced by the ancient Romans. Although, technically speaking, it wasn't live burial as you may be thinking of it. What they would do is they would inter people alive. Like, they'd be put in an alcove, walled in, and then left to die. There we go. Typically, the person was buried with a loaf of bread and a jug of water, so that if they really were innocent of whatever their crimes were, then the goddess Vesper would rescue them. So in that respect, it's kind of like ducking witches, you know? Live burial was last used during World War II, not by Nazi Germany, but by the Japanese. And it's probably for the best, because like I said in the last video, I am done talking about Nazi Germany for now, you know? Okay. Anyone else? I guess not.
This way, you mate. Vámonos.
Oh, apparently not. There's always one. There is always one in this stupid thing. Alright, there we go. This is not how I remember this chain of events going, you guys. Huh. Anyways, if Ernesto is gonna die, this is the second point where it's going to happen. Everything else after this is plain-ish sailing. This particular part of the game is also fairly tricky because...
Mira! Those fucking creatures, they've trapped us! It looks like our time has come! We'll never make it out of here alive.
Anyways, it's a pretty tricky section because... Did one of those slayers just get back up? It did! How about that? But no, like a good GM, this particular part of the game, it leads with one hand, and then knifes you in the back with the other. So, in order to progress, we have to... What? Okay, no, this isn't supposed to happen now either. We're supposed to solve the puzzle and then fight her. If memory serves. Right. Game's switching things up on me when I'm not expecting it. But the fact that the game can do that is one of the reasons I love it.
To die this way after surviving so long. I will never see my Consuelo again.
Anyways, since Captain Whiny over there isn't helping, we need to push this crate over the little metal grate there, and basically repeat a puzzle that we've done before. We have to shoot out the TNT right there, which will...
We're done for. This smoke will kill
I
us
hope.
soon.
Ah, yes, there we go. It will start the water from flowing, and it will eventually put the fires out.
I think the fire is
Now,
coming closer.
Obviously, this is going to summon some mainliners, and it was at this point that I got to
Dios
thinking...
mío. A miracle, the fire is out. Again, you prove yourself.
Come on, dude, I'm trying to
Come on,
talk.
we must get to town.
Ah, there we go. Right. It seems to me that they're trying to drug the inmates in the prison. Because, I mean, think about it. The mainliners turn up wherever there is a high concentration of drugs. The pools of blood that come from drug dealers and abusers, for example. But they also turn up wherever there is water. The sprinklers, the showers, and now this, the tap water. I mean, it is also a fairly prolific conspiracy theory that some official body is putting drugs in the water. You know, the government, big business, Freemasons, whatever. Whether there is a significant amount of water, you get drug monsters, it's
No way across, and this is the only way
it's
to
just a
get to
thought, you know?
town.
Speaking of which, the game creators, they wanted to come up with a
Watch
disturbing
out.
and...
That truck is on fire.
Aye? Oh, there we go. They wanted to come up with, like, a disturbing and unsettling tone in the game, but they knew that, like, just throwing monsters at you wouldn't be enough. So they wanted to tie it to real-world events because, well, it's like Ernesto says, sometimes there is nothing scarier than human nature. So the storyline has some of the most horrible and dark elements from human history in there. Like, there's prison life and culture, slavery, racism. What on earth are you two doing? Ah, there you go. But, no, the directors say that they went for the worst of American history, but that most of this stuff takes place the world over, so take it how you will. They also say that they covered some really serious subject matter for a video game, especially an action-adventure horror game. And the fact that it came out of nowhere, coupled with the fact that all this stuff actually happened, amplified the horror of this world tremendously, and I agree.
Still need some help. The killer you really are, but you don't know anything. Go on to the dock, where you'll see how things really are.
Now, obviously, we haven't killed that guy, because he's already dead. We found his grave. I suppose the fact that we defeated him was enough for him to let us progress.
What Diablo was that? Well, at least we can make it across now. Come on.
Now, this is kind of weird, because in the previous video, it was outright suggested that Ernesto could not see Horus. Presumably because it's all in Torque's head. But he can see Hermes. What's up with that? There we go. And I probably shouldn't have stood around waiting for that guy, because now there's all... Yeah, you show that tree who's boss. But no, now there's going to be, like, loads of other enemies kicking around, and it's not going to be any good. Did it... Wow, I have never seen that before! The Slayers and the Burrowers teamed up to take down the Festers.
Blast them again once they are at.
This... Like I say, I'm consistently amazed when a game that I have played lots of times shows me something new. And this particular LP has done just that. I'm so surprised with some of the things that I'm seeing. And what are you even shooting at, dude? Oh, I get it.
I can see that.
It's kind of weird. The Festers don't actually represent a method of execution, as you will have heard from Clem. They're a personification of something else, which is a little weird, but it's something else they expand on in the sequel,
I
so,
looked it down, it burns.
you know.
My family, if they are still there, it is too terrible to think of. What has happened to this island? We must get to the town somehow. I must find Consuela.
It's one of the problems with Torque being a heroic mime, which has to happen given that he can also be a villainous mime. we could just tell him that Consuela is okay. We got a radio message from her, if you recall. Also, you know, subtle game. Real freaking subtle right there. Now, it's kind of hard to do this because... well, Ernesto's going to stand there and shoot wherever the monsters are. So what you're going to want to do is try to kite a little bit, but try to keep them within the cone of vision of that particular ball of fire, he says, as he does just the opposite. There we go. This way around, Ernesto will help you and attack the monsters rather than just, you know, doing what his less than genius AI is meant to do. Okay, but seriously, another one? I thought we were only supposed to have one wave of these things. Now the game's throwing 3 at us. Still, at least he's not messing around. Okay, now are we done?
No way through.
Yes, we are.
This inferno is too thick. I must go back to the town. I have to keep looking. You go on, inmate. Meet the Coast Guard at the docks. I will meet you there later.
You gave him the chance you never had.
Now at this point we actually have to watch Ernesto run away, because if we just leave, then he will stay there and we don't get the karma for it. And... hi?
Everything comes to an end.
Weird. So yeah, in some of the notes you'll say that the 3 girls who accused the villagers of witchcraft have vanished. That's probably where they went, you guys.
My diagnosis is complete. Your cure is at hand. You might think my methods a bit unorthodox, but my results will speak for themselves. Ahead you will encounter something altogether unlike what you've seen before. But I have something that can help you. A device that can cure you, put your demons to rest. But only if it is sufficiently powered, and only if you are in your more, shall we say, primal form. Use this correctly, and you cannot help but be cured. You do want to be cured, don't you, Doc? It's up to you now.
Showing your kids like that is actually a really subtle way of the game going, look over here. Because inside here we've got a couple of bottles of drugs should you need those, some more shotgun ammo, and a few other cool bits and pieces. But I think it's gonna... yeah, it's a good enough time to stop the video. Join us next time for the final episode of Let's Play the Suffering. And until next time, goodbye.